Hi guys, so for those who don't know me, my name is Alvin. Um, I am a member of the KCA Tech Club. I'm also the AI lead at the KCA Tech Club, but I'll also be leading us in the development of the, the project that we will do as KCA Tech Club. So it was chosen that we do a social media application for KCA, where KCA students can interact with each other, and I thought that would be great. So we've gotten a lot of inspiration from the early days of Facebook. So yeah, so that's the project we'll be building, and today I'll make three videos, okay, 4 videos. This first one will be to explain to us what I have done to set up the project such that we can all interact with the code and contribute to the code without the code breaking or without us having to deal with unnecessary problems, such that the code is well maintained. So there are a few things I have done. So that's the first video. The second video will be how to get started with the front end development work. So if you want to contribute to front end work, the first video will be the second video will be very crucial for you. The second video will be on the backend side, how I have set up the backend so that the code is well maintained on GitHub, and there's also good integration between GitHub, the code that is on GitHub, and also the code that is on the backend services that we are using. And then finally, the fourth video will be for Flutter, and um, those are the 4 videos that I'll get to share today. So let's get started with today's video. So what I've implemented is called CI/CD pipeline, and this is basically a pipeline that takes your code and runs certain tests, certain checks to ensure that it meets certain standards, and then finally it deploys it um, to the necessary places. So for example, now for the front end people, you would have taken your code, and then once you've changed something, you will commit and push it to GitHub. So now these 2 circles, this green one and this light blue one or light purple, are on GitHub. So once you've pushed your code, the code is built. So for front-end work, the code will be built just like you would build any Next.js application, but now that is done automatically for you. You don't need to do anything there. It is just you push your code, and then this process starts. It builds the code, it does a few tests to see if the code is up to standard and it works properly, and then it finally pushes that code or deploys that code onto the necessary places. So for example, for Next.js, that would be Vercel, so that on Vercel, our code is hosted there. So you can easily access the live code via a Vercel URL that we are going to use. Same thing with the backend code that sits on that uses Firebase, and also for the Flutter code. All of those three have different pipelines, and their pipelines are automated, so you don't need to take part in that. I just thought it wise for us to know that your code is automatically going through these tests, and you don't need to necessarily know how to make this pipeline, but if you're interested, I'm very open to helping anyone learn how to build something like this. But I just thought it wise that I show us how what I implemented, so that you get to understand that when I push my code to GitHub, this is what happens, and then eventually I see this output. So yeah, this is the first video. So we'll move on to the second video, where I'll discuss how to get started with the front-end development work.